I now call the meeting of the Code Enforcement Special Magistrate to order. Welcome to Hillsborough County Code Enforcement Special Magistrate hearing for the red light camera enforcement appeals. When addressing the magistrate, please state your name, address, and speak clearly into the microphone. At this time, I'll ask you to please silence all electronic devices. I would like to introduce the staff present on the dais. To my left is Corporal Carissa Evans, Hillsborough County Sheriff's Office. Faith Ramhoff, Citizen Board Support. Sonia O. Rodriguez, Manager, Citizen Board Support. I am Dr. Thomas Santarlis, the Special Magistrate, appointed by the Board of County Commissioners to hear these appeals. Paul Johnston, Senior Assistant County Attorney. Augustin Guerrero, Recording Secretary. The basic process for this hearing is as follows. Ms. Rodriguez will conduct the oath of witness. Corporal Carissa Evans from the Hillsborough County Sheriff's Office will make an opening statement that applies to all the appeals on the agenda. Your case will be announced, and you must come forward to the podium. Corporal Carissa Evans from the Hillsborough County Sheriff's Office will present the evidence on your case. You will be allowed to rebut that evidence and explain what you believe has occurred. I will close the hearing and announce the decision. I may ask questions and allow other witness testimony if necessary. By law, you also have 30 days from the date of my order to appeal my decision to the Circuit Court under Florida Statute 162.11. Any person who decides to appeal the decision of the Code Enforcement Special Magistrate with respect to any matter considered at this meeting will need a record of the proceedings, and for such purposes may need to ensure that a verbatim record of the proceedings is made, which record includes the testimony and evidence upon which the appeal is based. If you have any questions, these rules are outlined by Florida Statute 316.0083, the Mark Wandel Traffic Safety Program. Now, there are two possible outcomes in your case. The first outcome is that it could be dismissed. If there's a legal justification to dismiss your case, I will do so. I have no allegiance to you or the Hillsborough County Sheriff's Office. I'm going to make a decision strictly on the facts that are presented to me today. I have not seen your driving record and will not see your driving record, and I have not seen any of the evidence until it's presented to me today. This is an objective decision. Either there was a violation of the law or there wasn't. It's not subjective. I will not make a determination upon anything other than the evidence that is presented to me today. If the case is dismissed, you have no legal or financial obligation in this matter anymore. The other possible outcome is that your case is upheld. If it's upheld, there are three ways to make a payment. First is online, second is by phone, and third is by mail. Please note there are no local venues to pay this fine. And up on the podium, there'll be an information card like this in English and in Spanish outlining those options for you. Now move to the approval of the minutes of the previous CESM meeting. November 13th, 2020, those minutes are hereby approved. Please note that if your case is upheld, I do not have any legal recourse to change the amount of the fine. I can't increase it or decrease it. It's already set by statute. Let's go ahead and move to the administration of oath to the defendants and witnesses.
Will everyone that is presenting testimony please stand and raise your right hand? Do you swear or affirm that the testimony you're about to give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? Thank you. You may be seated.
Okay, please note that the process for this hearing is that the representative from the Hillsborough County Sheriff's Office will present her case first, and then you'll be able to come up and present your case. And we do that for a specific reason, because you're being alleged to have violated the law. This gives you an opportunity to hear and see the evidence that is being presented against you so that you can properly mount a defense against those allegations. You will have as much time as you need to present your defense. And we'll go ahead and move to the sheriff's office opening statement, please.
My name is Corporal Carissa Evans. I'm employed by the Hillsborough County Sheriff's Office as a deputy sheriff and certified by the state of Florida as a law enforcement officer. All of the red light violations that will be heard today were captured electronically with camera equipment maintained by American Traffic Solutions, ATS. Evidence of each violation will include 3 still images taken of the violating vehicle and may include a video. The following steps are taken after a violation is captured electronically. 1. ATS processes each violation by cropping and zooming in on one of the still images to accurately view the license plate of the vehicle. 2. The vehicle's registered owner's information is retrieved by ATS from the Department of Highway Safety and Motor Vehicles, DHSMV. 3. The images are initially reviewed by ATS pursuant to directives and conditions established by the Hillsborough County Sheriff's Office to make an assessment whether a violation has occurred. If the violation does not meet the conditions established by the Hillsborough County Sheriff's Office, it is rejected by ATS and no further action occurs. 4. ATS potential violations are forwarded to the Hillsborough County Sheriff's Office, where a sworn law enforcement deputy reviews the images to determine if a violation has occurred. If the violation is rejected by the deputy, no further action occurs. 5. Deputy-approved violations cause ATS to issue a notice of violation to the registered owner of the vehicle. This notice is mailed via first-class postage to the address provided by DHSMV vehicle registration records. 6. Florida statutes provide that the owner of the violating vehicle is responsible and liable for paying the violation unless a properly prepared exemption affidavit is submitted within 60 days after the date of issuance of the notice of violation. 7. The registered owner has 60 days to pay the fine or to file an appeal of the notice of violations with ATS. ATS then sets the case for a hearing with the county, which is the proceeding here today. 8. The A, first image, shows the vehicle prior to crossing the stop bar while the traffic signal was red, the calculated speed the vehicle was traveling when approaching the intersection, the length of time the traffic light had been in the red phase at the time of photo, and the lane number the vehicle was in. 9. The B, second image, shows the vehicle past the stop bar with the red light illuminated along with all the information provided in the A frame image. 10. The camera systems are installed and maintained by ATS. Each camera system conducts a daily self-diagnostic test to ensure the components are operating properly. All of the data and information for these violations is from their equipment. 12. At this time, I move into evidence for the purposes of each individual hearing today 2 exhibits as business records of the Hillsborough County Sheriff's Office. First, Exhibit A is the contractual agreement between ATS and HCSO. And second, Exhibit B is the business rules questionnaire between ATS and HCSO. These documents together establish the procedures through which ATS reviews and processes potential red light camera violations pursuant to the directives and conditions established by the Hillsborough County Sheriff's Office.
The exhibits have been accepted into evidence. Before we call our first case, one more note. For all the cases that are upheld, if any, I'm going to read a statement that will apply to each one of them so we don't have to do it one by one. So if I find in that particular case, based on the testimony and evidence presented, that the red light camera violation be upheld, I will order the violator to pay the red light penalty fine of $158 plus the administrative cost of $75. The total fine and cost of $233 must be paid within 30 days of this order. Failure to pay the outstanding fine will result in administrative hold with the state of Florida, and you may not obtain a license plate or revalidation sticker for any vehicle you own until the past due amount is fully paid. So that will apply to every single case. I'm not going to read it case by case. Can we please call the first case?
Go to page 2, item 1, notice number 290172, Beverly Jean Pruitt, continued by the CESM from the 11/13/2020 hearing, and someone is online.
Mr. Pruitt, can you go ahead and enable your camera? You click the camera button. Mr. Pruitt, I'm going to go ahead and unmute you. Can you hear us?
Yes,
Can you go ahead and hit that camera button?
that's what I'm doing. I've clicked it.
We had it a few minutes ago. I'm not sure. No, that'll be the mute button. It'll be the button next to that, sir. So Dale, you have the mute from the bottom left. The leftmost button is the mute button. The second button is the start video
Okay,
button.
that is the one I'm clicking right now, and it's my blue light is on my computer.
I'm not sure if you want to try backing out and coming back in again one more time. I did see you pop up before, Dale.
I'm clicking the camera icon.
Dale, if you want to try backing out of the meeting and rejoining, that might help. We did have your camera a minute ago when you joined.
I'm going to go ahead and call the next case
Understood.
until this is corrected. Item number 2.
Item number 2, notice number 1721900225079, Stephen Von Lefton, continued by the CESM from 11/13/2020 hearing, and someone is present. Please step forward.
Good morning, sir. Would you please state your name and address for the record
Oh, yes, Stephen Lofton, Lofton.
and your address
7614 Colonial Court in Tampa, Florida,
and zip code?
33615.
Thank you, sir. Corporal, go ahead.
Citation 1721900225079. This violation occurred on 5/19/19 at 12:48 p.m. at the intersection of westbound West Waters Avenue at Anderson Road within Hillsborough County. The first image A shows that the vehicle was in the number 2 lane as it approached the intersection. The traffic signal was in the red phase for approximately 0.7 seconds prior to the vehicle crossing over the stop bar. The second image B establishes that the vehicle continued into the intersection without stopping. The third image C provides a close-up shot of the license plate of the violating vehicle, 187BA. I have confirmed that the registered owner of the violating vehicle is Mr. Stephen Von Lofton. I present these images, video, and the camera log report to the court as a deputy sheriff for the Hillsborough County Sheriff's Office and a certified law enforcement officer within the state of Florida. Based on these items, I find that this is a violation of Florida State Statute 316.0751C1. Accordingly, we submit this violation and exhibits to the court for adjudication.
Sir, go ahead with your testimony.
Yes, when I was here earlier, this is a continuance as from going forward. It was showing that, number one, I'm a professional driver for 30 years, never had an accident, and a CDL driver as well, so I was tractor trailers. So I had a quick judgment to make when I saw the emergency vehicles behind me on the day of coming into the intersection. I wanted to clear the intersection when I saw it was safe to do so. It was a judgment call on my behalf. And as presented here earlier, they were saying I needed to show some kind of proof of showing there were emergency vehicles, in fact, in that area at the time. And I have proof of the log that you requested me to bring back, showing that there was a log of emergency vehicles in the area just behind me.
If you
From a
wish
call-
to
from a
submit
call-
that document, sir, you won't get it back.
That's fine, I'm going to do that. And it would show that there was an accident with injuries just a few minutes ago before I had to enter that intersection.
Ms. Rodriguez, can you pull up the time and date? The alleged violation? Or is it Anderson? Corporal, do you know how far away the distance is between Waters and Anderson and Waters and Manhattan? Or any of the corporals? No?
I can tell you, sir, if it's, I looked at it, it was about seven blocks, 6 or 7 blocks away home. Mhm.
Corporal? Sir, it appears that the date and time when the emergency vehicle was in the area is consistent with the date and time of the alleged violation. I'm going to ask the corporal to review those documents and to make a determination as to her findings.
Thank you.
Based on these, I believe that this is a good reason to dismiss this case.
Mr. Lefton, are you opposed to me dismissing this case?
Not at all, sir.
Okay. All right, I find that in notice number 1721900225079, based on the testimony and evidence presented, that the red light camera violation be dismissed. Mr. Lefton, you have no further financial or legal obligation in this matter. Thank you very much for providing that documentation. That was very helpful.
Thank you very much. Have a good day.
Next case, item 3. I'm sorry. We're going to go back to item number 1, notice number 1721900290172, Beverly Jean Pruitt, continued by the CESM from the 11/13/2020 hearing, and someone is present virtually.
You can hear us, Dale? Dale, we can hear you. Go ahead.
I need to see him. Sir, raise your right hand. Mr. Pruitt, raise your right hand. Do you swear or affirm that the testimony you're about to give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
Thank you. Please state your name and address for the record.
Dale E. Pruitt, 180 St. James Place, Sharpsburg, Georgia, 30277.
Thank you, sir. Corporal, go ahead with the case.
So there was not a transfer of liability, but Mr. Pruitt is the one that did ask for the hearing. However, based on the totality of everything for citation 172200017, sorry, I'm on the wrong one. Citation 1721900290172. I would like this dismissed based on the fact that I just could not clearly see the violation.
Corporal, thank you for your honesty. I find that in notice number 1721900290172, based on the testimony and evidence presented, that the red light camera violation be dismissed. Sir, you have no further legal or financial responsibility in this matter.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
Item number 3, notice number 1722-000-170587, Elliott Sheets, transfer of liability from Drains, etc., Inc. Someone is present. Please step forward.
Good morning, sir. Could you please state your name and address for the record?
Elliot Sheets, 14014 Clubhouse Circle, apartment 1402.
City, state, zip.
Tampa, Florida, 33618.
And how are you affiliated with Drains, et cetera?
I used to work there.
And I take it you were the dryer?
No, sir. That was not my work truck.
Okay, so why is there a transfer liability to you?
It's a good question.
Okay, Corporal, go ahead.
Citation 1722-000-170587. This violation occurred on 5/29/20 at 7:59 a.m. at the intersection of eastbound East Fletcher Avenue at Bruce B. Downs Boulevard within Hillsborough County. The first image A shows that the vehicle was in the number 3 lane as it approached the intersection. The traffic signal was in the red phase for approximately 0.9 seconds prior to the vehicle crossing over the stop bar. The second image B establishes that the vehicle continued into the intersection without stopping. The third image C provides a close-up shot of the license plate of the violating vehicle, GCVN89. I have confirmed that the registered owner of the violating vehicle, Drains, etc., Inc., transfer the liability to Mr. Elliott Sheets. I present these images, video, and the camera log report of the court to the court as a deputy sheriff for the Hillsborough County Sheriff's Office, as a certified law enforcement officer within the state of Florida. Based on these items, I find that this is a violation of Florida State Statute 316.075(1)(c)(1). Accordingly, we submit this violation and exhibits to the court for adjudication.
Sir, go ahead with your testimony.
I wasn't in the van. That's not my work van. I drove the Nissan at that company. That's a Ford.
Is there anybody representing Drains, et cetera, Incorporated here today or virtually?
Not that I'm aware of, no.
All right, I'm gonna need a 2-minute recess while I can consult with the county attorney. Okay, we're back on the record.
Attention, we are live in 3, 2, 1.
Okay, we're back on the record. I've consulted with the county attorney because there are conflicting testimony here. Prior to going forward, I want to hear from you again. You're testifying under oath that you are not the driver.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
At that company, it was,
Hold on a second.
Oh.
Ms. Rodriguez, do you have a copy of the transfer liability, a sworn affidavit from the company? Corporal said.
Give me a moment, I'll pull it up.
Yes, thank you. Okay, sir, go ahead.
we swap vans at that company almost every other week. I'd be in one van for a couple weeks and then another van, and then I'd ride with somebody, then somebody would ride with me. It was a musical carousel. I mean, obviously, if I did that, I owe the money. But my problem is I was not in that van that day. I was not driving that van that day, and it's not even my van. If I did it, I'll totally own up to it. I get how that works. But I didn't do that. And it kind of irks me. And they held this for 8 months and waited a week out until my license was about to get suspended to mail this to me. So that was another thing. And it's just, and the secretary there that works there, she used to work with the Hillsborough County Sheriff's Office for like 8 years. So I'm just very confused as to how all this got shifted onto me.
Were you still an employee at that time, sir?
I'd have to check the dates, but I believe so. Yes, sir.
What was the date again?
5/29/20.
May 29th, 2020.
Yeah, that's probably, yes, sir. I was still working there.
There's the affidavit.
All right, can you see the affidavit, sir?
Yep.
Okay, ma'am, can you scroll down so we can read the narrative? Handwritten narrative?
I mean, I didn't fill that out.
No, no, this is the affidavit that came
Yeah,
in.
it's right there.
What did you show me, Corporal? The next page? Page 12. Okay, sir, can you read that, please?
I'm sorry.
No, out loud.
Person operating the vehicle, the day and time was employed. Okay, that's terrible English. Was employed here and has since left our company. I have attached a GPS report showing the vehicle left his residence, confirming he was operating the vehicle, and shows at the time of the infraction he was operating the vehicle and passed the intersection.
All right, so we have a sworn written affidavit under penalties of perjury by the company stating that you were the driver at the time.
Okay.
And you're aware that you're under oath and that you were
100%.
given sworn
100%.
oral testimony today.
100%.
And you're familiar with the penalties of perjury, correct?
100%.
Okay. I have two conflicting statements under oath, which is leading me to believe that somebody is committing perjury. That's a criminal offense. And that's something the Hillsborough County Sheriff's Office may investigate, but certainly can. I want to ask you again, because you're here and unfortunately they're not. Were you the driver of the vehicle that day?
Telling you I was not driving that vehicle
Fair
that day.
enough. Fair enough. Since the representative from Drains, et cetera, Incorporated is not here for me to cross-examine or ask questions to, I have to rely on their written testimony, their written sworn affidavit. Corporal, do you have anything you want to add here?
Could I see the GPS log that was attached?
Sure. The only problem with the GPS log, and I gave that consideration, is that's going to tell me where a physical vehicle is located at a certain point in time. It's not going to put this man or any other man behind the steering wheel of that vehicle. And that's a problematic issue for me, that I can't put him in the driver's seat. Unless there's video inside the vehicle. Does the vehicles have video?
No, not that I'm aware of. They may have had video, but I wasn't aware of it, sir.
All right. Corporal, do you have anything further you want to add?
I do not.
Sir, do you have anything further you want to add?
That's about it.
I do not like that somebody is intentionally committing perjury and not being honest or forthright with the information. However, I can't put this man behind the vehicle. In the interest of fairness, I find that a notice number 172200170587 based on testimony evidence presented that the red light camera violation be dismissed. Sir, you have no further legal or financial obligation in this matter.
Thank you, sir.
Yes, sir. Hillsborough County Sheriff's Office, you obviously have the right to pursue this matter if you wish.
Item number 4, notice number 1722000185114, Teresa Diane Nix. Someone is present, please step forward.
Good morning, ma'am.
Good morning. How are you?
Good, thank you. Can you please state your name and address for the record?
Teresa Nix, 11500 Summit West Boulevard, apartment 23A, Temple Terrace, Florida, 33617.
Thank you, ma'am. Corporal, go ahead, please.
Citation 1722000185114. This violation occurred on 6/13/20 at 1:04 PM at the intersection of northbound Brandon Town Center Drive at West Brandon Boulevard within Hillsborough County. The first image A shows that the vehicle was in the number 3 lane as it approached the intersection. The traffic signal was in the red phase for approximately 0.2 seconds prior to the vehicle crossing over the stop bar. The second image B establishes that the vehicle continued into the intersection without stopping. The third image C provides a close-up shot of the license plate of the violating vehicle, HTW P88. I have confirmed that the registered owner of the violating vehicle is Ms. Teresa Nix. I present these images, video, and the camera log report to the court as a deputy sheriff for the Hillsborough County Sheriff's Office and a certified law enforcement officer within the state of Florida. Based on these items, I find that this is a violation of Florida State Statute 316.075 1C1. Accordingly, we submit this violation and exhibits to the court for adjudication.
Ma'am, go ahead with your testimony. Can I see the video again, please?
No, that's fine. I just needed more time. I didn't get a chance to reschedule because of work. So I just need more time to pay it.
Is your testimony that you violated the law?
Yeah, I know. I see I ran it.
I appreciate your honesty, ma'am. How much time would you need?
So April 4th.
All right, I find that in notice number 1722000185114, based on the testimony evidence presented, that the red light camera violation be upheld. Ma'am, normally we give 30 days to make a payment. Would 60 days help you do May 18th, 2021?
That's fine.
Okay, so the order will be that 233 days, $233 will be paid in full within 60 days of this order, and that'll be on or before May 18th, 2021.
Okay.
And I need another short recess, please. Ma'am, you have no further.
I'm good. Okay.
Attention, we are live in 3, 2, 1.
All right, we're back on the record. Please call the next case.
Next case, item number 5, notice number 1722000186799. Christian Michael Barley. I'm sorry, next case, item number 6, notice number 1722000206886. Ira Samuel Ellenprise. Someone is present. Please step forward.
Good morning, sir. Please state your name and address for the record.
Ira Aaron Price, and my address is 12901 North 52nd Street, Temple Terrace, 33617.
Corporal, go ahead, please.
Reference citation 1722000206886. I'm requesting this case to be dismissed. Referenced, there was an unclear violation of this.
What does that mean, unfair violation?
Unclear.
Unclear.
I could not determine the violation occurred.
Sir, do you have any objections to dismissing the case?
No, thank you. I had a whole nice speech to lay down. That's the only
Well, you
regret.
can certainly go forward with it if you want.
Yeah, I do.
You do want to go forward?
Yeah, why
'Cause,
not?
I could have upheld the case.
I'll keep it short.
You sure you don't? You want to take that risk?
No.
All right. So I find in notice number 1722000206886, based on testimony ever presented, that the red light camera violation be dismissed. Sir, you have no further legal or financial obligation in this matter.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Have a great day. Thank you.
Item 7, notice number 1722000209682. Joseph Philip Louise Pearson. Someone is present. Please step forward.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning.
Go ahead with your name and address for the record, please.
Joe Pearson, 10220 Norwick Street, Spring Hill, Florida, 34608.
Thank you, sir. Corporal?
Citation 1722000209682. This violation occurred on 7/9/20 at 3:17 p.m., the intersection of northbound Bell Shoals Road at Bloomingdale Avenue within Hillsborough County. The first image A shows that the vehicle was in the number 2 lane as it approached the intersection. The traffic signal was in the red phase for approximately 0.4 seconds prior to the vehicle crossing over the stop bar. The second image B establishes that the vehicle continued into the intersection without stopping. The third image C provides a close-up shot of the license plate of the violating vehicle, DEM-Z92. I have confirmed that the registered owner of the violating vehicle is Mr. Joseph Pearson. I present these images, video, and the camera log report to the court as a deputy sheriff for the Hillsborough County Sheriff's Office and a certified law enforcement officer within the state of Florida. Based on these items, I find that this is a violation of Florida State Statute 316.075 1C1. Accordingly, we submit this violation and exhibits to the court for adjudication.
Sir, go ahead with your testimony, please.
I'm the superintendent for David Nelson Construction, and we're currently widening Bell Shoals Road. You could see that we had the right turn lane closed off, and we were getting ready to cut down the 2 turn lanes into 1 lane. So we were doing a traffic check to see if the timing had to be altered on the traffic signals. And that's why we did what we did. And in about 3 weeks, that camera's going to be offline because it will no longer be there.
Is that your personal vehicle?
Yes, yes, it is. But you can see that my company pays me for my personal vehicle, and you could see I had my strobe lights on as I was going through the intersection.
I don't see the strobe lights. Where were they?
Yep, on the back underneath. See them on right there?
No.
Yep, they're flashing.
Where were you going?
Where we was going, I was turning around to go into Publix, to turn around and come back.
And what was the purpose of you going through the light?
Purpose is going through because when we cut that lane down into 1 turn lane, we were doing a traffic evaluation to see whether they have to alter the timing of the traffic lights. You know what I mean? If they have to lengthen it because there's only gonna be one turn lane instead of two.
And why couldn't you stand at the intersection or somewhere close and
Well,
watch it?
because we was counting the cars, doing a traffic evaluation.
You can't count by standing on the intersection or somewhere close by?
I don't know. I was just doing what my other superintendent was telling me to do. He says, come on, let's go. So that's what we did.
Corporal, would you like to weigh in here?
I don't have anything to add.
Sir, do you have any further testimony?
Nope, that's it.
Do you have any documentation showing that you were working that day and time?
I could pull up a timesheet. I don't have one with me now. I've got one of my cards. And I'm a superintendent for Nelson. We're doing the road widening. I can pull up a timesheet.
Well, the problem that I have is, first, obviously, it's a personal vehicle. I have no,
It's a company vehicle.
Okay.
They pay me for use of that vehicle.
is this vehicle registered to the company or to him?
It's registered to me. They give me a vehicle allowance.
Okay, so it is owned by you. It's not a company vehicle.
I don't know how that works. I know that I'm not getting my,
Did you pay for the vehicle?
yes, I do.
Okay, so then you own the vehicle. It's
I
not
own the
your vehicle.
vehicle, but they pay me to use that vehicle.
So that's the first problem that I have, is that it's a personal vehicle. Other than your verbal testimony, which I have no reason to disbelieve, you were working, utilizing your personal vehicle on the date and time. However, more problematic to me is that you and another person chose to enter the vehicle, regardless of who owns it, and went through the red light. I think you could have stood somewhere close by and visually checked that light and made a determination as to whether it was syncing properly or the number of seconds between the different lights. Corporal, do you have any disagreement or anything else you want to add?
No, I completely agree with that.
Okay. Sir, do you have anything further you want to?
No, I don't.
Okay. All right, I find that in notice number 1722000209682, based on a testimony evidence presented, that the red light camera violation be upheld. Sir, there's 30 days to make a payment on this matter.
Turn to page 3, item 10, notice number 1722000248367, Jesse Ian Harden.
Yes.
This person also has 2 cases, which is item number 11.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning.
Can you please state your name and address for the record?
Yes. Jesse Ian Harden, 6801 Woodville Street, apartment 130, Tampa, Florida, 33610.
Corporal, go ahead, please.
Citation 1722000248367. This violation occurred on 8/12/20 at 5:25 PM at the intersection of northbound Brandon Town Center Drive at West Brandon Boulevard within Hillsborough County. The first image A shows that the vehicle was in the number 1 lane as it approached the intersection. The traffic signal was in the red phase for approximately 1.2 seconds prior to the vehicle crossing over the stop bar. The second image B establishes that the vehicle continued into the intersection without stopping. The third image C provides a close-up shot of the license plate of the violating vehicle, Y92NCS. I've confirmed that the registered owner of the violating vehicle is Mr. Jesse Harden. I present these images, video, and the camera log report to the court as a deputy sheriff for the Hillsborough County Sheriff's Office and a certified law enforcement officer within the state of Florida. Based on these items, I find that this is a violation of Florida State Statute 316.075 1C1. Accordingly, we submit this violation and exhibits to the court for adjudication.
Sir, go ahead with your testimony.
On that day, I remember I was having a lot of mechanical issues with my vehicle, and I had stalled out.
behind the car that had went through the light before me. I remember what happened, but I wasn't aware that the light was changing at the time because I was focusing on trying to keep my car running. Once it stalled out on me, I shut down, which I had shut down maybe 2 or 3 days or something like that. There's a couple of incidents I had at that light with my car shutting down. I had just started working in that area. We was working in that Tapestry area. We was doing some road construction in the back of the area, back there behind. And my vehicle at that time was like a lemon. I had just bought it. I'm trying to get it together and everything, and it was running hot and it was stalling out on me. In that time frame there, I know my vehicle has stalled out like 1 or 2 times in that area right there. So I can't say yeah, but I was mostly focused on keeping the car going, you know, keeping it forward. Because once I stop, it shuts down. It was overheating during that time, and it'll stall out on me when I get to the red light, whatever. I had to find a new way home, you know, another direction home, because in that area there, that light was a long light for me. And I had to find another way out from getting down there, which I had to go back south and go to 301 to get back to 301. So I could have time to, well, the lights, red lights was like my nemesis in that area.
So if you know that your vehicle is not reliable and could pose some danger to yourself and other people, why are you still operating on a public roadway?
Well, I don't know. I no longer have that vehicle. I got rid of that vehicle maybe September or somewhere like that there. It was at the time I bought that vehicle. It was during the stimulus time, and I bought it with my stimulus check. And then later, about a month, it lasted for about, I think I had that vehicle 2 months, from July to August something. September, I got another vehicle.
Sonia, can I see the video again, please? Yes. So the vehicle in front of yours that you said stalled out or became unoperational, was that the one in the video?
Yes, the pace of a PT Cruiser.
Looks like it's moving out pretty good.
It moved, but it was like running hot and it stalls out. It's got like the compression. If you hit the gas, it'll go. Sometimes it's take off slow, and sometimes it'll take off fast. But sometimes as you roll it, it'll pick up speed.
And the one that's in front of the PT Cruiser was the vehicle you said that was having problems before you?
No, my car was having problems
Okay.
at that time. At that day, my car was having problems because it like it wanted to stall out on me.
But I thought you testified that there was a vehicle in front of yours that had some problems as well.
No, my car is the one that has been having problems, not nobody else's car. I don't know about anybody else's car having problems. My car has stalled out on me in that area. And I was trying to get my car through.
So I think if I'm understanding, it had stalled at the light already during one cycle? Is that what you had originally said, that it stalled?
It had been stalled out on me, yes.
And so then that time
And I was
is,
trying to get, like, when I hit the gas,
Okay.
if I'm hitting the gas, sometimes it'll kind of like stall out. Sometimes it'll go slow and pick up. You know, that was the issue with that car. It ran hot, which maybe somewhere in that time frame, it ran hot all the time. But somewhere in that time frame, one day I got caught. I made it through the light, but it overheated on me, and I had to stop on the other side, let it cool off, get it. Because once sitting at the red light, it's just like it started boiling. And I did everything. I changed the radiator, water pump, new hoses, and everything. It just was a lemon at that time.
So the question is, did you stall out at this intersection or at this intersection previous to that?
At that day, I think my car had kind of like stalling out. It was stalling out because that car actually, I was right on the back of that car. So it was a little few feet ahead of me at that time,
Date
I
and time,
think.
just Sonia, please. Yeah, the video and also the date and time. Okay, and let me see the video one more time, please. Okay, sir. It looks like that vehicle is moving pretty good. And you should have had enough time to stop at the red light. Any further testimony from either side?
No, sir.
No, sir.
I find that notice number 1722000248367, based on the testimony evidence presented, that the red light camera violation be upheld. Go ahead and call the second case.
Item 11, notice number 1722000249068, Jesse Ian Harden.
Sir, I know you just did this, but for this record, would you please state your name and address for the record?
6801 Woodville Street, apartment 130, Tampa, Florida, 33610.
And your full name, please?
Jesse Ian Harden.
Okay, Corporal.
Citation 1722000249068. This violation occurred on 8/13/20 at 5:03 p.m. at the intersection of northbound Brandon Town Center Drive at West Brandon Boulevard within Hillsborough County. The first image A shows that the vehicle was in the number 2 lane as it approached the intersection. The traffic signal was in the red phase for approximately 0.1 seconds prior to the vehicle crossing over the stop bar. The second image B establishes that the vehicle continued into the intersection without stopping. The third image C provides a close-up shot of the license plate of the violating vehicle, Y92NCS. I have confirmed that the registered owner of the violating vehicle is Mr. Jesse Harden. I present these images, video, and camera log report to the court as a deputy sheriff for the Hillsborough County Sheriff's Office and a certified law enforcement officer within the state of Florida. Based on these items, I find that this is a violation of Florida State Statute 316.0751C1. Accordingly, we submit this violation and exhibits to the court for adjudication.
Sir, do you have testimony in this case?
Same thing was happening with my car.
Okay.
The same issues I was having, those same issues with the car at
Okay,
that
since
time.
this is a new
I-
case, can you please testify to exactly what you want us to know on this one?
That I was having mechanical issues with that vehicle I was operating at that time, and I don't have an excuse or anything like that, but except that my car had mechanical issues during that time that I was working in that area. And
Sir, do you have any kind of documentation indicating that there was a mechanical problem with your vehicle?
I got receipts, old receipts, but I didn't bring no receipts here with me today because I changed water pump, radiator, hoses, everything, try to keep that car going, but I couldn't do nothing with it because no one could find out the issues that was making it run hot or stall out. So I got rid of it. I junked it.
So it would be helpful if there was some kind of documentation indicating that that vehicle had some mechanical problems. But even with that documentation, if the vehicle is not up to par, you should not have it on the county roads. And that would not absolve you of responsibility of going through a red light. Corporal, do you have anything further?
I do not.
Sir, do you have anything further?
No, sir.
I find that notice number 1722000249068, based on the testimony ever presented, that the red light camera violation be upheld. However, I don't think that it would be fair for you to pay for administrative costs twice because you've already done that in the previous case. So I'm going to waive the administrative costs of $75 and ask you if you need more time to make a payment.
Yes, that's what I would like, sir, please.
Okay, sir, how much time would you need?
At least a couple of months, please.
Okay. I'm going to amend my order from 30 days to 90 days. Would that be helpful to you, sir?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so
Appreciate it.
just understand, in the first case, you have 30 days to make your full and complete payment. In this case, you have 90 days. 90 days would be June 17th, 2021.
Okay.
Would that help you?
Yes, sir.
Okay, sir, you're all set. There's an information sheet on the podium.
Okay, thank you.
Next case, item 15, notice number 1722000269314, Yalissa Janae Pierce. Someone is present virtually.
My name's Angela Pierce. My address is 10406.
Excuse me, hold on. Raise your right hand.
Yep.
Do you swear or affirm that the testimony you're about to give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes.
Okay, now you can say your name and address, please.
My name's Yalissa Pierce. My address is 10406 Soaring Eagle Drive, Riverview, Florida 33578.
Thank you, ma'am. Corporal, go ahead.
Citation 1722000269314. This violation occurred on 9/4/20 at 9:41 a.m. at the intersection of northbound Bell Shoals Road at Bloomingdale Avenue within Hillsborough County. The first image A shows that the vehicle was in the number 3 lane as it approached the intersection. The traffic signal was in the red phase for approximately 0.6 seconds prior to the vehicle crossing over the stop bar. The second image B establishes that the vehicle continued into the intersection without stopping. The third image C provides a close-up shot of the license plate of the violating vehicle, HDGTK26. I have confirmed that the registered owner of the violating vehicle is Ms. Yalissa Pierce. I present these images, video, and the camera log report to the court as a deputy sheriff for the Hillsborough County Sheriff's Office and a certified law enforcement officer within the state of Florida. Based on these items, I find that this is a violation of Florida State Statute 316.075 1C1. Accordingly, we submit this violation and exhibits to the court for adjudication.
Thank you, Corporal. Ma'am, go ahead with your testimony.
I know that I ran the red light. I'm not trying to deny that. That's my first red light ticket, and I've never gotten a ticket before. I'm also just having like financial troubles. I've been working on the COVID unit and going to nursing school at the same time. And I just graduated nursing school. I ended up with COVID, which put me back on my bills for about like the whole quarantine time. So I'm still playing catch up with that. I did not pass my boards to be a nurse right now, and so I have to pay the fees to retake my exam, and so I just am like caught up in a lot of financial issues right now.
How do you pronounce your first name, ma'am?
Yalissa.
Yalissa Janae Pierce?
Yes.
Okay. Any further testimony?
No.
Okay, I appreciate your honesty, ma'am. Any further testimony from the sheriff's office?
No, sir.
I find that notice number 1722000269314, based on the testimony and evidence presented, that the red light camera violation be upheld. Ma'am, how much time do you need to make a payment?
90 days would be helpful.
Okay, so I'm going to amend my order from 30 days to 120 days. So your full and final payment will be July 17th, 2021. Will that help you, ma'am?
Yes, thank you.
Okay.
Turn to page 4, item 18, notice number 1722000272813, Renita Diane Picola. Someone is here in person. Please step forward.
Good morning, ma'am. Could you please state your name and address for the record?
Renata Diana Picola, 14111, Unit 104, Mossy Glen Lane, Tampa, Florida, 33613.
Thank you, ma'am.
Citation 1722000272813. This violation occurred on September 7th, 2020 at 9:22 p.m. at the intersection of westbound East Fletcher Avenue at Bruce B. Downs Boulevard within Hillsborough County. The first image A shows that the vehicle was in the number 3 lane as it approached the intersection. The traffic signal was in the red phase for approximately 0.2 seconds prior to the vehicle crossing over the stop bar. The second image B establishes that the vehicle continued into the intersection without stopping. The third image C provides a close-up shot of the license plate of the violating vehicle, HJQR14. I have confirmed that the registered owner of the violating vehicle is Ms. Renata Cola. I present these images, video, and the camera log report to the court as a deputy sheriff for the Hillsborough County Sheriff's Office and a certified law enforcement officer within the state of Florida. Based on these items, I find that this is a violation of Florida State Statute 316.075 1C1. Accordingly, we submit this violation and exhibits to the court for adjudication.
Thank you, ma'am. Do you have testimony today?
Yes. So first of all, that video was very difficult to see. I can't even see the red light changing. I can't even like make out my car. Maybe you guys have better eyes than I do, but that night it was very wet outside. It did rain that day, and with the timing of the light, like if I was to hit my brakes and go into the median or go into the middle of the highway, it would have been very scary. So with the timing and everything, I drove the way I usually drive. I don't run red lights. It's not my thing. I don't do anything bad. Like I'm like one of those people that follows all the rules by the book. So if I did happen to go into past the line when it turned red, it was because it was really, really wet that night, because I remember it was really, really wet that night. I don't think it was raining when I was driving, but the ground was wet that night. And for like my safety, and for the safety of others, I just made the decision to do what I did. As far as running the red light, I can't really tell in the video, but that's.
Running a red light is not for your safety or the safety of others. It's actually quite the opposite. And if it's inclement weather, you
Right.
should know that you're supposed to drive under the posted speed limit and drive slower in a more
And
prudent and
I
cautious manner.
always do drive slower. And like I said, I can't even like see if I ran the red light or not in the video, in all honesty. But I'm saying that if I did, I probably just made a decision where the light turned red probably really quickly, because now I avoid that intersection. I don't use that intersection. I go to Bears because it's just not worth me paying all this money. But like I said, I can't tell in the video if I ran it or not. So if you guys feel I ran it, then, I apologize. There's nothing I could do, but it was wet that night and I just didn't want to slide into the intersection. And with the timing, I probably just didn't come to a complete stop because of that.
Well, ma'am, there's no need to avoid any particular intersection. I mean, the light at Barris is going to change from yellow to red as well. And you need to stop on a red light.
I always do.
Okay.
I definitely do.
Can, Ms.
Like I said,
Rodriguez,
I never
can you
do
please
anything
put
wrong.
the video on again and point to the sequence of the lights changing? Yeah, slow motion, please. It's in the yellow phase. And she's pointing to the light now, and it changed to red, and your vehicle crossed the stop bar on the red light.
Like I was like right there.
Okay, can you stop it when it turns red and make sure her tires are behind that stop bar?
I mean, I kind of see it now. It just wasn't very, I guess, defined.
The red light, and she's behind the stop bar.
Okay, I see me like right at the line, but
Corporal, is she right at the line?
No.
Okay, you can tell you're clearly behind that line there, ma'am.
well, like I said, I probably made a decision because it was wet to instead of stop to maybe go, and I apologize for that. It was because I guess I remember it was really, really wet that night. So
Corporal, how
that
do you
was
drive a vehicle in inclement weather?
that was a decision that I made. Well, the weather was fine. It was the roads were wet. Because I don't recall, it wasn't raining when I was driving. I may have been drizzling, but the roads were really wet. So that was the decision I made because of my safety. And I mean, that's all I could say.
Well, the decision to be made for safety would have been to drive slower and be more prudent,
But I was
knowing
not-
that you're
I wasn't
approaching,
speeding though, so.
knowing that you're approaching a light, especially during inclement weather, or even if it is clear, but the roads are wet. The prudent thing would be to slow down and drive slower so that you actually could give yourself even more time to stop at a light.
Right, I agree. And I did do that, but I just, like I said, the timing of it, I just happened to be right there. So I guess I must have been hesitant to just hit the brake. And I mean, like I said, it was a decision I made. I'm not saying I made the right decision, but it was what I felt was right for my safety because I was like right there, even though I was still behind the line, I guess I was right there. And because the roads are wet, I just made that decision to go. And I did slow down. I was not speeding. And it just happened, the way the timing was, it just happened to work out where I just happened to be there. And that's when the light turned red and I did what I did. So, I mean,
Okay, well, I
that's all I'm
find that
saying.
notice number 1722000272813, based on the testimony that was presented, and the red light camera violation be upheld. And there should be an information sheet on the podium there for
okay.
you.
And then I also wanted to say, the letter I received, it said the admin fee was $50, not $75. I have it in writing.
Ms. Rodriguez, can you respond to her?
Through ATS, it is 50, but when you have the hearing, the administrative fee is 25. So altogether, it's 75.
Okay, well, they did not put that in there. So I was just wondering what happened with that. They should put that in there.
Okay, ma'am, there's an information sheet there on the podium for you. It'll look like that.
Item number 23, notice number 1722000276400. Stephanie Marie Salgado. Attorney Michael Taylor is present. Please step forward.
Good morning, Mr. Taylor.
Good morning, Mike Taylor for Stephanie Marie Salgado.
And what's your corporate address, sir?
It's on my notice of appearance, 301 West Platte Street, Suite A11, Tampa 33606.
Thank you, sir. Corporal, go ahead, please.
Citation 1722000276400. This violation occurred on September 11th, 2020 at 2:10 p.m. at the intersection of northbound Brandon Town Center Drive at West Brandon Boulevard within Hillsborough County. The first image A shows that the vehicle was in the number 1 lane as it approached the intersection. The traffic signal was in the red phase for approximately 0.3 seconds prior to the vehicle crossing over the stop bar. The second image B establishes that the vehicle continued into the intersection without stopping. The third image C provides a close-up shot of the license plate of the violating vehicle, DRK56. I've confirmed that the registered owner of the violating vehicle is Miss Stephanie Marie Salgado. I present these images, video, and the camera log report to the court as a deputy sheriff for the Hillsborough County Sheriff's Office and a certified law enforcement officer within the state of Florida. Based on these items, I find that this is a violation of Florida State Statute 316.075 1C1. Accordingly, we submit this violation and exhibits to the court for adjudication.
Mr. Taylor, go ahead with your testimony, sir.
We don't have any testimony.
Okay.
It's up to the state to put Miss Stephanie behind the wheel. They haven't presented any evidence showing she was driving.
No,
So
sir.
it's
That's
not
not correct. The statute clearly indicates that the registered owner is responsible for any violation of law, much like a parking ticket, sir. She can transfer liability to somebody else if she believes someone was driving, but on strict liability, she's responsible for that.
Except for this isn't a strict liability statute. She's charged with a traffic statute that says no person. It's an individual statute. She has to be put behind the wheel to be charged with this traffic violation.
No, sir. It clearly indicates the statute that is the registered owner is responsible for it in this particular type of a violation.
A traffic ticket is not the same as a parking ticket. A parking ticket is against a vehicle, and an owner of a vehicle for a parking ticket can be charged. In this case, it's not the same. And if you go ahead and pull the statute that she's charged with violation, the first portion of that statute says no person. It's an individual statute. You cannot convict a person of violating a traffic statute without proving that they were behind the wheel. And that burden is on the state. It's not on Stephanie Salgado.
Okay, so I'm going to ask the corporal to make a statement regarding that, and I'm also going to ask the assistant county attorney to make a statement on that as well. Corporal, if you'd like to go first. Okay. And we have Mr. Johnston. Will you go ahead and we'll.
Yes, Dr. Santos, thank you. Can you hear me okay?
Yes, sir.
Okay. The problem with what he is arguing is this is not a traffic citation. This is a notice of violation. It's a code enforcement issue. And is under section 316.083, I believe, of the statute, and it clearly states, you are correct, it clearly states that the owner of the vehicle will be issued the notice of violation.
Except you don't get there without charging her with a traffic violation. And then the traffic violation itself is a personal statute. You have to charge an individual with that.
She is not being charged with a citation of the statute. She's being charged under the red light camera statute section. It's 316.083.
But that
And that's
red light,
specifically the Mark Wandell Traffic Safety Program. I understand your argument,
that
sir.
statute specifically relies on this traffic violation statute. And that traffic violation that your statute relies on for the conviction is personal. It has to prove, one of the elements is that Stephanie Marie Salgado was behind the wheel. That's the statute she was charged with. If you take a look at this notice of violation, it lists the Florida statute that she's accused of violating. And the state is unable to prove the elements of those statutes.
So per 316.00831A, I believe you're referencing the first part of that paragraph. However, the last sentence specifically states it does not prohibit the department, a county, or municipality from issuing notification as provided in paragraph B to the registered owner of the motor vehicle involved.
Except for that statute's relying on 316.741, which the first line in there says person. And so you're charging a person, you're not charging a car. You're not charging her with any violation for having a registered vehicle. You're charging her personally with running this stoplight, which the elements of those crime, that traffic violation, one of the elements the state has to prove, not Stephanie Marie Salgado. She doesn't have to disprove that. The state has to put her behind the wheel during this traffic violation. I did not hear any testimony from the deputy putting Stephanie Marie Salgado behind the wheel. And I understand your charging statute, but your charging statute relies on this other statute. She's charged with a violation of a traffic statute. That's what she's charged with violating. She's not charged with violating a charging statute. I understand how your statute says you can charge her, but you're charging her with another statute, 316.074, subsection 1, and that subsection, the first part of it says person.
Mr. Johnson, can you please rebut?
Yes, sir. The statute that we're concerned about is 316.0083, and it is specific as to red light camera violations. You have to read them both in conjunction with each other, and this statute specifically allows the notice of violation to be issued to the registered owner of the vehicle. It is specific to this particular violation.
Okay, and then you charged her, Stephanie Marie Salgado, and then she goes and enters a not guilty plea because what she's charged with is not 316.083. She's charged with 316.074.
I understand that.
Which the state is unable to prove.
Statute allows them to be charged with the registered owner.
Yes, and then go ahead charge her, but then you still, when there's a
You have
hearing
to read them both in
after,
conjunction with each other.
but after you can go ahead and charge her under that. I understand that. I'm not disputing that. But you're charging her under the charging statute for violating another statute. And to uphold the charge, you have to prove the elements of 316.074. And one of those elements is that Stephanie Marie Salgado was behind the wheel at the time of this infraction.
Well, sir, normally you would be correct. You would have to prove that element is 316.074, and that is a traffic infraction that is witnessed by a sworn law enforcement officer at the scene. So that is separate than a notice of violation in which this specific statute is dealing with red light cameras. And with red light cameras, it gives the county or the city municipality the option of being able to use red light cameras as their evidence. And it's specific in here that part of that is that a notice of violation goes directly to a registered owner, just like a strict liability case with a parking ticket.
But this isn't a strict liability case. This isn't. This is a traffic violation case charged by a video camera.
Well, according to the statute, it goes to the registered owner, which would be strict liability. They're owning the vehicle. They're responsible for it with a red light camera violation.
It's
The
not.
argument is good if it was a regular uniform traffic citation, a UTC, hand it to a driver on the scene, then your argument is totally valid.
The argument continues that if it was a strict liability statute, like you're claiming at this point, then proving or coming in here and testifying, like several other people have done this morning, that they weren't behind the wheel wouldn't get them out of the infraction. It wouldn't, because it's not a strict liability. It's not a strict liability statute. It's a specific intent statute. 316.074 requires that you prove Stephanie Marie Salgado was behind the wheel before the charge can stick. And so he may have shown that the vehicle went through a red light. I'm not disputing that. You have to put Stephanie Marie Salgado behind the wheel.
Okay, so it's good that as her representative, you testified under oath that the vehicle went through the red light.
I'm not testifying.
You just did.
I am not testifying. I wasn't sworn. I'm an attorney.
Is
I'm
he not
making
sworn?
legal arguments.
Is he not sworn?
No, I'm not sworn. I'm telling you right now, I'm not
Sworn
sworn.
attorney, okay.
And I'm not testifying. I'm commenting on the state's presentation of the case. It looks like from your video that someone went through a red light.
Okay,
It
Mr.
looked like
Johnson,
her
would
vehicle
you
was the one
address
that
his
went through.
concern again, please? Mr. Johnson?
Yes,
Did
sir,
we
go
lose?
ahead.
Did we lose Mr. Johnson?
I'm here. Can you hear me?
Okay, yes, sir. Go ahead.
Okay.
Mr. Taylor is continuing to address us that this is not proper because of 316.074, uniform traffic citation requires the state to prove the person was driving. I don't think he is properly putting the two statutes together and not understanding the spirit of the law as well with the Mark Wandell Traffic Safety Program.
I understand the spirit of the law, but it's unconstitutional to require someone to come testify against
So
themselves.
this is a notice, this is a hearing.
To
So
charge someone.
you can't dispute constitutionality here. Because this is a quasi hearing as opposed to UTC where you'd have those opportunities. Mr. Johnson, go ahead and finish, please.
Yes, sir. You're correct. This is a quasi judicial hearing. Your authority extends to viewing the evidence presented and determining whether or not there was a violation of the statute of the ordinance. Did the person or did the vehicle, in this case, actually run the red light? You don't have authority to rule on the constitutionality of it. That would be the subject of an appeal to circuit court.
All right, is there any further testimony? Sir, do you have anything further?
You're still required to prove that 316.074 has been violated. And that requires you to prove who did it, who was behind the wheel. And there's been no testimony. There's been no evidence today showing that it was Stephanie Marie Salgado. So the case needs to be dismissed.
Okay, sir, your argument is noted. Anything further?
No.
Okay. I find that notice number 1722000 276400, based on a testimony and evidence presented, that the red light camera violation be upheld. Mr. Taylor, you certainly are within your purview to have an appeal and argue the constitutionality of the merits of this case. There's an information sheet on the podium there, sir.
Right here.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
Have a good day.
Go to page 5, item 26, notice number 172200283331, Michael Malak, Shenandoah. Someone is present, please step forward.
Sir, please state your name and address for the record.
Michael Malak Shenandoah, PO Box 82570, Tampa, Florida, 33670.
Thank you, sir. Corporal.
Citation 172200283331. This violation occurred on September 17th, 2020 at 9:18 a.m. at the intersection of eastbound West Waters Avenue at Anderson Road within Hillsborough County. The first image A shows that the vehicle was in the number 2 lane as it approached the intersection. The traffic signal was in the red phase for approximately 0.6 seconds prior to the vehicle crossing over the stop bar. The second image B establishes that the vehicle continued into the intersection without stopping. The third image C provides a close-up shot of the license plate of the violating vehicle, BIA K83. I have confirmed that the registered owner of the violating vehicle is Mr. Michael Shenandoah. I present these images, video, and the camera log report to the court as a deputy sheriff for the Hillsborough County Sheriff's Office and a certified law enforcement officer within the state of Florida. Based on these items, I find that this is a violation of Florida State Statute 316.0751C1. Accordingly, we submit this violation and exhibits to the court for adjudication.
Sir, go ahead with your testimony.
Yes, sir. Yeah. I was trying to pass with the green light, and it changed color so quick from the red to from the blue, from the yellow to red. Changed so quick, and I tried to push the brake, and you can see I tried to push the brake, but I already passed the light. So,
Sir, as you're approaching the intersection, especially a busy one, you should be driving in a careful and prudent manner, expecting that light to change from yellow to red.
yeah, but I used to when different intersection, it give us more time to be able to time changing from green to red, and this one doesn't have much time.
Well, the timing is based by the
changed
county
it quick.
engineering department based on the number of vehicular and pedestrian traffic in the area and traffic crashes.
And you can
So
see.
you're correct. They are different in different intersections.
Yeah.
However, all the intersections are the same, is that when you're approaching an intersection, you should be prepared to stop when it changes from yellow to red.
I do.
Yellow doesn't mean speed up. It means slow down and prepare that light is going to change. Whether it's 2 seconds or 10 seconds, it's going to change and you're supposed to slow down when you see yellow. Corporal, anything further?
No, sir.
Okay. Sir, any further testimony?
Yeah,
Okay, go ahead.
I try to to as much as I can with the heavy weight I have in my truck to stop on the from try to change from the green to red.
So if you're testifying that your truck is too heavy, do you think you should maybe address that before taking it on a county road?
No, I do. I do take this in account,
Okay.
but it changed so quick.
All right. No further testimony from anybody? Sir, anything else?
No.
Okay. I find that notice number 1722000283331, based on a testimony evidence presented, the red light camera violation be upheld. Sir, there's an information sheet on the podium there. There's an information sheet on the podium.
Oh.
Thank you, sir.
So what does that mean?
That means that you have a total fine and cost of $233, must be paid within 30 days of this order.
Yeah, but this is not fair, sir. We are representing you guys to be on our side, to do the right thing,
I
And
am
this
doing
is,
the right thing. I looked at the evidence and you clearly entered the intersection on red.
yeah, and there is a lot of intersection have different timing. So how we know this one, it's a 2 second or 3 second from green to red.
Well,
Right.
you make a good argument, but I fall back on the point that when the light turns as yellow, regardless of how many seconds you have before
And you
it
can
turns as
see
red,
the-
you need to slow down and prepare to stop.
Yeah, I did. And you can see in my, in mine, I already, you can see my brake light was on, but I already passed the light. Did you see that or no?
I do see the video, but you didn't stop on a red light, sir.
I did. No, yeah, but I didn't stop in the line, but I already in the middle of the road, when I already changed the color.
Well, you should have been preparing to stop before you got to the middle of the road.
It changed so quick.
Okay. All right, sir, you have 30 days to make your full complete payment.
That's not fair, sir.
Item number 29, notice number 172200030113. 3, John Richard Sipe, and someone is present virtually.
Yes.
Sir, please state your name and address for the record.
Raise your right hand. Do you swear or affirm that the testimony you're about to give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, yes,
Thank you.
yes.
Thank you.
We have two users in the same room as each other. I believe, can you just turn down the volume on one of your systems, please?
I'm not good at this. Let me get help.
I think if you're listening on two devices, one of them will have to leave the room.
Sorry, I'm here.
Yes.
I'm just calling my husband.
Okay, we have you now. Yes, could you please turn down the volume on your speakers, or we're getting some feedback on your side?
He's getting echoes. Getting
I'm gonna let's try this.
Wait.
Can you hear us?
I can hear you, yes, sir.
Okay, we fixed the problem.
Fix the problem? Okay. Can you see me though?
Yes, we can.
I just can't see you, but you can see me, okay? One meeting? We've been here forever and now all of a sudden this is happening. Wait a minute. Join meeting, here's join meeting. Can I just talk without?
Please state your name and address for the record.
Diane Sipe, S-I-P-E, 5203 Kula Sages Circle, El Rico, Florida, 33596.
And is your husband going to be speaking as well?
I don't think so, because I was driving the car, but he was in the car. Because I was, that particular morning, or afternoon rather, we had two separate medical appointments.
Ma'am, can you stop for a minute, please?
Yes, sir.
IT, do we have this resolved?
I believe we do. They're trying to sign in twice in the same room, but we should be good.
Okay, ma'am, the Hillsborough Sheriff's Office is going to present their testimony first, okay?
Yes, sir.
Okay, go ahead, Corporal.
Citation 172200030113. This violation occurred on September 30th, 2020 at 3:07 p.m. at the intersection of northbound Bruce B. Downs Boulevard at East Fletcher Avenue within Hillsborough County. The first image A shows that the vehicle was in the number 5 lane as it approached the intersection. The traffic signal was in the red phase for approximately 0.6 seconds prior to the vehicle crossing over the stop bar. The second image B establishes that the vehicle continued into the intersection without stopping. The third image C provides a close-up shot of the license plate of the violating vehicle, IJ49WT. I've confirmed that the registered owner of the violating vehicle is Mr. John Richard Sipe. I present these images, video, and the camera log report to the court as a deputy sheriff of the Hillsborough County Sheriff's Office and a certified law enforcement officer within the state of Florida. Based on these items, I find that this was a violation of Florida State Statute 316.075, 1C1. Accordingly, we submit this violation and exhibits to the court for adjudication.
Thank you, Corporal. Ma'am, go ahead with your testimony, please.
Yes, sir. Well, I don't see you, or maybe you see me though, that's okay. On that particular afternoon, my husband had a doctor's appointment on Bruce Street down to north of Fletcher. I also had an appointment at Moffett, which was off of Fowler and McKinley Avenue. So I first drove my husband up there to his appointment, returned to my appointment, and then later that afternoon, close to 3 o'clock, because my appointment took so long because of COVID, and then wiping down the machinery for mammograms. So by the time I got out to return to his appointment to pick him up, it was bumper to bumper traffic. Now this was now the second time I've gone through this intersection. So as I approached the intersection, it was just bumper, bumper, bumper. So it was just a few cars, a few cars, a few cars. So by the time I got up to the intersection, the light was turning yellow, and I proceeded because I was so close to where I was going through, rather than stop at the middle. So I didn't stop, but I didn't see the red light. That's what I'm trying to tell you. I didn't see the red light. I just saw yellow. And then I had my eyes straight forward and proceeded to go pick up my husband. We turned back through that same intersection that day and had no idea that I had even had a red light violation until I got it in the mail. And I didn't believe it until I went out and said, they've got another car. And I went out and saw that you had the license plate, and I went out and checked my license plate. I said, oh dear, I didn't know I went through a red light. That's my honest, what I'm trying to tell you. I didn't even know I went through a red light.
Okay, Ms. Rodriguez, can you show the video again to her and slow it down?
I can't see it because I can't see it through the screen.
You can't see it?
No, sir, because all of a sudden we went cockeyed. My husband's been pressing things and I can't see it.
Can you see me?
No, sir.
It's probably good that way because I'm pretty hideous to look at.
Well, I'm pretty old. I've been driving for 65 years and this is my first encounter.
IT, can you help us with that? In the
can
meantime,
try,
Corporal, do you have anything you want to say on this matter?
They should be able to see us. On the bottom of your screen, you should see a little circle WebEx symbol on your taskbar.
Honey, can
As
you
the
look?
program opened.
He's a technical person. I'm not. Wait a minute. He says there's something on my taskbar. Can you see it?
If you bring up the program,
All I have here is, it says, I've got this drop down menu. It says integrated camera, settings and what have you. And then it says start video. And when I do that, it just tells me that, well, I'll do it. I'll tell you what it tells me.
Okay, please stand by. Can you see it now?
Yes, sir.
Okay, can we play the video now? They should be able to see the video now.
Ma'am, can you see the video?
It's just.
Yes.
Does she see it? Okay, Ms. Rodriguez, can you play it again for her? Ma'am, she's going to play the video in slow motion and show your vehicle in relation to the traffic light.
Thank you.
It's yellow. Now red, and near your vehicle, almost a car length behind the stop bar. Do you see that, ma'am?
I do now.
Okay, so after watching the video, do you believe you entered the intersection in a red light?
Of course I do, but I didn't know I didn't.
Okay. Is there any further testimony in this matter?
Thank you for hearing me because I thought I was doing the right thing. It's just one of those things. I didn't do it intently.
Okay, so the registered owner was John Richard Sipe. Corporal, is she a co-registered owner?
I do not know, but there was not a transfer.
No,
Was
I'm
she a
not a
co-registered
co-registered
owner?
owner.
I don't know. I did not look that up.
Ma'am, are you registered on the vehicle as well?
No.
No, it's in his name, but I obviously am allowed to drive. I have a driver's license.
I understand that. And Mr. Sipe is in the room?
He's right
I'm
here.
here.
Okay. Has he been sworn as well?
No, I have not.
Has any of these virtual people been sworn?
Pardon me, sir?
Okay. So since there's no transfer of liability on file, I don't have a problem taking your testimony, ma'am, but it should have been Mr. Sipe that was testifying here. So Mr. Sipe,
But I was driving.
yeah, hold on a second.
I see, when I was
Ma'am,
driving. he was
hold
still
on a second, okay? I understand that. Mr. Sipe, go ahead and switch seats with your wife. And Ms. Rodriguez is going to swear him in, and I want to take testimony from him, please.
You were in the car. You were the driver's license I drove.
Sir, raise your right hand. Do you swear or affirm that the testimony you're about to give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
Thank you.
Okay. Sir, just some housekeeping here. I know that the two of you are married, so it's going to all be the same. But from a legal standpoint, if you wanted to transfer liability to your wife or somebody else, you could have done that with an affidavit indicating that you weren't driving, and then that driver would be responsible for this. But I understand that that you're married and everything is going to be the same. So do you have any testimony that you wish to tell today?
Nothing more than what my wife has already told you.
Okay, so under the statute, when there's no transfer of liability on file, the registered owner is responsible for the outcome of this hearing. So that means if this case is upheld, you would be responsible for that and not your wife on her information. You understand that, sir?
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right, is there any further testimony from anybody?
No, sir.
Okay,
No, sir.
all right. So I find that in notice number 1722000301133, based on a testimony ever presented that the red light camera violation be upheld. However, due to all the complications remotely, ma'am, I'm going to waive the administrative costs of $75. So that means $158 is due and payable within 30 days of this order. Ma'am, would you need any more, or sir, since you're the registered owner, would you need any more time to make a payment?
No.
Okay, all right, so $158 is due by April 18th, 2021.
Okay. Well, what options do I have to pay that?
There are three options to pay. One is online, which is www.violationinfo.com. That's violationinfo.com.
Okay.
The other is by phone, and that's 1-866-790-4111. And the third is by mail. And Sonia, do they have the mailing address on there as a violation?
I'll do it by phone.
Okay, very good. All right, you're all set. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Have a blessed day. Thank you.
Thank you.
Item number 32, notice number 1722000308948, Ashley Marie Andrade. Someone is present in person, please step forward.
Morning, ma'am.
Hello.
Please state your name and address for the record.
Ashley Andrade, and my address is 5100 Burchett Road, Unit 1000, Tampa, Florida. Zip code is 33647.
Citation 1722000308948. This violation occurred on October 6, 2020 at 10:44 a.m. at the intersection of eastbound East Fletcher Avenue at Bruce B. Downs Boulevard within Hillsborough County. The first image A shows that the vehicle was in the number 1 lane as it approached the intersection. The traffic signal was in the red phase for approximately 0.3 seconds prior to the vehicle crossing over the stop bar. The second image B establishes that the vehicle continued into the intersection without stopping. The third image C provides a close-up shot of the license plate of the violating vehicle, FFX 555. I have confirmed that the registered owner of the violating vehicle is Ms. Ashley Andrade. I present these images, video, and the camera log report to the court as a deputy sheriff for the Hillsborough County Sheriff's Office and a certified law enforcement officer within the state of Florida. Based on these items, I find that this is a violation of Florida State Statute 316.075 1C1. Accordingly, we submit this violation and exhibits to the court for adjudication.
Ma'am, do you have any testimony?
I just that I didn't really feel like I had enough time to stop safely without being in the middle of the intersection when the other lights turned green. So I just made a judgment call.
So watching the video, I see that your vehicle was behind the stop bar when it turned red. The judgment call should have been yours when you're driving, when you're approaching the intersection, preparing to stop as the light changes yellow and then into red. After watching the video, do you believe you entered the intersection on a red light?
Yes, not intentionally, but yes.
All right, any further testimony on either side?
No, sir.
No.
All right, find a notice number 1722000308948. Based on the testimony that was presented, that the red light camera violation be upheld.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Turn to page 6, item number 37, notice number 1722000329050, Emmanuel Isaac Scott. Someone is present virtually.
Hello?
Good morning, sir. Could you please state your name and address for the record?
Emmanuel Scott.
Please, sir, raise your right hand.
Oh,
Mr. Scott, we're having a little trouble hearing you. Can you move that microphone a little closer to your mouth?
Do you swear or affirm that the testimony you're about to give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
yes, correct.
Thank you. State your name and address.
Emmanuel Scott, 5109 East 127th Avenue, Temple Terrace, Florida, 33617.
Thank you, sir. Corporal?
Citation 1722000329050. This violation occurred on October 23rd, 2020 at 12:41 a.m. at the intersection of eastbound East Fletcher Avenue at Bruce B. Downs Boulevard within Hillsborough County. The first image A shows that the vehicle was in the number 3 lane as it approached the intersection. The traffic signal was in the red phase for approximately 0.8 seconds prior to the vehicle crossing over the stop bar. The second image B establishes that the vehicle continued into the intersection without stopping. The third image C provides a close-up shot of the license plate of the violating vehicle, PXM E88. I have confirmed that the registered owner of the violating vehicle is Mr. Emmanuel Scott. I present these images, video, and the camera log report to the court as a deputy sheriff for the Hillsborough County Sheriff's Office and a certified law enforcement officer within the state of Florida. Based on the items, I find this is a violation of Florida State Statute 316.075 1C1. Accordingly, we submit this violation and exhibits to the court for adjudication.
Sir, go ahead with your testimony.
All right, so it was just a quick judgment call on my end of things. Being that it was late at night, there was nobody in front of me, so I was driving the speed limit prior to the light. Seeing that there was cars in the left lane of me, I decided that instead of like stomping on the brakes when the light had switched to yellow, I decided for the safety of myself and the driver on the left side of me that I would continue to the light. So once again, I do apologize, but that was my own judgment call, just safety.
Mr. Rodriguez, can we see the video again, please? Got two law enforcement vehicles coming.
I can't tell if you could slow it down maybe, but
Right, as soon as she comes by. Right there. See that? Looked like two.
patrol cars.
Yeah, did it?
It did.
And then can we stop it on red, please? Just changed from yellow to red. And sir, your vehicle is nowhere in the frame of this video. So what kind of judgment was that?
Basically just like I said, because the road was clear, I was doing 45 prior to that. So with making the assumption right on the spot, I decided to do that just in case if I had to stomp on the brakes, if I lose control of my car, I would crash. But once again, it was just a judgment call.
Corporal, you lose control of the vehicle if he stopped before he got to the intersection? Looks like there's a lot of space
I was
there.
gonna say, I don't see any other vehicles in his way prior to him entering into that intersection, so he should have had more than enough time to stop prior to entering the intersection.
Agreed.
It was in fear and the vehicle on the left side.
Sir, those vehicles are stopped properly at a red light. I don't even see your vehicle in the frame of this video. You had more than enough time at the posted speed limit to stop your vehicle on a red light.
Okay.
All right, I find that in notice number 1722000329050, based on the testimony evidence presented, that the red light camera violation be upheld.
Turn to page 7, item 43, notice number 1722000348837, Mohammed Abbas Ali. Someone is present virtually.
Good morning, this is Muhammad Ali.
Sir, the testimony you're about to give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes,
Thank you.
I do.
I thought Muhammad Ali is dead.
I know, I get this all the time.
Okay.
State your name and address.
It's Muhammad Ali, 3404 Beautiful Court, Lutz, Florida, 33559.
Seems that would be your best defense, don't you think? Corporal, go ahead.
Citation 1722000348837. This violation occurred on November 6, 2020 at 5:14 p.m. at the intersection of eastbound East Fletcher Avenue at Bruce B. Downs Boulevard within Hillsborough County. The first image A shows that the vehicle was in the number 1 lane as it approached the intersection. The traffic signal was in the red phase for approximately 0.9 seconds prior to the vehicle crossing over the stop bar. The second image B establishes that the vehicle continued into the intersection without stopping. The third image C provides a close-up shot of the license plate of the violating vehicle, HDC X27. I have confirmed that the registered owner of the violating vehicle is Mr. Muhammad Ali. I present these images, video, and the camera log report to the court as a deputy sheriff for the Hillsborough County Sheriff's Office and a certified law enforcement officer within the state of Florida. Based on these items, I find that this is a violation of Florida State Statute 316.0751C1. Accordingly, we submit this violation and exhibits to the court for adjudication.
Sir, go ahead with your testimony.
Sure. As you can see, it's 5:10 p.m. It's a rush hour Friday. I tried my best to get over with this, but I was so close to this line that I couldn't stop myself. So I did not disrupt any traffic, upcoming traffic. So that was very close. So I couldn't stop myself. That's all I have to say. And with my clean record, I never had any such violations of red light or any speeding.
Okay, just so you know that if the case is upheld, it's not going to affect your Florida driver's license. There'll be no points
Correct.
assessed. Okay, any further testimony from either side?
No, if you feel like, if, at least if I can have my administration waived, I'll be more than happy to take this as like, I'll make the payment.
I find that notice number 17220000348837, based on the testimony evidence presented, that the red light camera violation be upheld. Sir, why are you requesting administrative costs be waived when you asked for a hearing?
It's just my clean record, and I'm not a like I have a very very clean record. So, and it was very close call. That's why.
No, it wasn't even a close call, and I don't have access to your driving record, so that doesn't come into play here. So, $233 is paid within 30 days of this order. Do you need more time to make a payment?
No, no, no. Thank you.
Okay, all right, thank you, sir.
Sure. Bye bye now.
Item number 44, notice number 172200379808, Christian Antonio Mora. Someone is present?
Morning, sir.
Morning. My name's Christian Mora. My residence is 327 Parsons Woods Drive, Sefner, Florida, 33584.
Thank you, sir.
Citation 172200379808. This violation occurred on December 3rd, 2020 at 7:59 a.m. at the intersection of westbound East Fletcher Avenue at Bruce B. Downs Boulevard within Hillsborough County. The first image A shows that the vehicle was in the number 3 lane as it approached the intersection. The traffic signal was in the red phase for approximately 0.2 seconds prior to the vehicle crossing over the stop bar. The second image B establishes that the vehicle continued into the intersection without stopping. The third image C provides a close-up shot of the license plate of the violating vehicle, CCJ-E19. I have confirmed that the registered owner of the violating vehicle is Mr. Christian Mora. I present these images, video, and the camera log report to the court as a deputy sheriff for the Hillsborough County Sheriff's Office and a certified law enforcement officer within the state of Florida. Based on these items, I find that this is a violation of Florida State Statute 316.075 1C1. Accordingly, we submit this violation and exhibits to the court for adjudication.
Sir, go ahead with your testimony.
As I was approaching the intersection, I saw the yellow light. I hesitated for a second. I thought the safest action was to continue through the intersection at the current rate of speed. I felt that stopping would have made me halt in the middle of the intersection. And also, as I passed through the intersection, I did not see a red light. I only saw yellow. So I assumed that I passed with the yellow, not red.
So after watching the video, do you see that you entered the intersection on a red light?
Yes, but 0.2 seconds is quicker than my reaction time. I can't see that red light within 0.2 seconds.
Okay. Corporal, do you have anything further?
No, sir.
Sir, you?
No.
Okay. I find that in notice number 172200379808, based on the testimony evidence presented, that the red light camera violation be upheld. Sir, there's an information sheet on the podium there for you.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Any other virtual cases?
Mr. Putnam?
Yes, who is this?
It's Attorney Jesus Elizarraz.
I'm sorry, could you repeat that? You were breaking up there for a second. It looks like your reception just went down a little.
Yeah, it's Attorney Jesus Elizarraz on case number 1722000036.
I believe that's scheduled at 1:30.
Oh, okay. I got the email for the last night. I guess I'll
Yes,
let
it'll be
you
the
back.
same, it'll be the same meeting. You're allowed to stay on connected if you'd like, but the hearing will be called starting at 1:30.
Okay, I'll connect back in. Thank you.
There's no one else in the audience?
Mr. Putton?
I believe we have Andrew Canetta, who is number 76, agenda number.
Correct.
Andrew, I believe your case is scheduled at 1:30, according
That's
to
not
the
what my
agenda.
email said.
Yes, all the items according to the agenda are past number 47 are scheduled for 1:30. The email is for the virtual call-in information.
So dial back in at 1:30?
You're allowed to stay connected. You can turn off your camera if you'd like, as it was.
Understood. I'll be back at 1:30.
Okay, seeing that there is no one present for the remaining cases on the 9 a.m. agenda, I will now review the video and still images on each case, and based on the testimony evidence presented, if I find that a violation has occurred, then I will order the red light camera violation to be upheld. I will order the violators to pay the red light penalty fine of $158 plus the administrative cost of $75. The total fine and cost of $233 must be paid within 30 days of this order. Failure to pay the fine will result in administrative hold with the state of Florida, and the amendment obtain a license plate or revalidation sticker for any vehicle they own until the past due amount is fully paid. That will apply for all the cases remaining on the 9 a.m. agenda.
Excuse me. Hi,
Yes.
I'm a part of the 9 a.m. agenda and I was not called.
Who is this? This is,
Tajiana Joyner Wilson.
I believe you're number 81, agenda number 81.
Yes, did you call my name? I've been sitting here. I don't remember hearing it.
That's scheduled for the 1:30 as well.
Oh, no, that's not what my email said either. Yeah, I've been here since 8 a.m.
Why don't we?
Like when you go to sign up online, it says
Ma'am?
1:30 is for the people who are coming in person, but the 9 a.m. meeting is for the live people who are going to be on Zoom. And the email definitely says 9 a.m. It's
Ma'am, we
actually be there at 8 a.m.
apologize for the miscommunication there, but unfortunately, guys. All right, so there's a miscommunication, but unfortunately, the deputy who's presenting the case is not due to be here till 1:30. With Ms. Rodriguez's permission, I don't have a problem with you being the first case called at 1:30. Would that be okay?
Yes, I'd appreciate it. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, ma'am. All right, so please go ahead and call the next case.
Turn to page 2, item 5, notice number 17220001867799, Christian Michael Bailey.
Okay, Corporal, go ahead.
Citation 17220001867799. This violation occurred on June 14th, 2020 at 10:22 p.m. at the intersection of northbound Bell Shoals Road at Bloomingdale Avenue within Hillsborough County. Present these images, video, and the camera log report to the court as a deputy sheriff of the Hillsborough County Sheriff's Office and a certified law enforcement officer within the state of Florida. Based on these items, I find that this is a violation of Florida State Statute 316.075 1C1. Accordingly, we submit this violation and exhibits to the court for adjudication.
Mr. Christian Michael Bailey has failed to appear in person or virtually. So I find the notice number 17220001867799 based on the testimony and evidence presented that the red light camera violation be upheld.
Item number 8, notice number 1722-000-211-209, Keisha Marie Carrasquillo Jimenez, paid in full on 3/12/2021. Page 3, item number 9, notice number 1722-000-214-112, Alan Luis Bros.
Notice 1722-000-214-112. This violation occurred on July 13th, 2020 at 4:18 PM at the intersection of northbound Brandon Town Center Drive at West Brandon Boulevard within Hillsborough County. Present these images, video, and the camera log report to the court as a deputy sheriff for the Hillsborough County Sheriff's Office and a certified law enforcement officer within the state of Florida. Based on these items, I find that this is a violation of Florida State Statute 316.075 1C1. Accordingly, we submit this violation and exhibits to the court for adjudication.
Elaine Lewis Brothers failed to appear in person and virtually. I find that notice number 1722-000-214-112, based on the testimony evidence presented, that the red light camera violation be upheld.
Item number 12, notice number 1722-000-256873, Robert Morris Raymond. No one is present.
Notice 1722-000-256873. This violation occurred on August 22nd, 2020 at 8:31 a.m. at the intersection of eastbound West Waters Avenue at Anderson Road within Hillsborough County. I present these images, video, and the camera log report to the court as a deputy sheriff for the Hillsborough County Sheriff's Office and a certified law enforcement officer within the state of Florida. Based on these items, I find that this is a violation of Florida State Statute 316.075 1C1. Accordingly, we submit this violation and exhibits to the court for adjudication.
Robert Maurice Raymond has failed to appear. I find that notice number 1722-000-256873, based on testimony and evidence presented, that the red light camera violation be upheld.
Item number 13, notice number 1722-000-260594, Oli Taja Danielle Ray, paid in full 3/18/2021. Item number 14, notice number 1722-000-267-490, Takira Chantel Mells, paid in full 2/24/2021. Item number 16, notice number 1722-000-272-185 has two cases, item number 16 and 17. Trinity Divine Williams, and no one is present.
Notice 1722-000-272-185. This violation occurred on September 7th, 2020 at 7:54 a.m. at the intersection of westbound East Fletcher Avenue at Bruce B. Downs Boulevard within Hillsborough County. I present these images, video, and the camera log report to the court as a deputy sheriff for the Hillsborough County Sheriff's Office and a certified law enforcement officer within the state of Florida. Based on these items, I find that this is a violation of Florida State Statute 316.075 1C1. Accordingly, we submit this violation and exhibits to the court for adjudication.
Trinity Divine Williams has failed to appear both virtually or in person. I find that notice number 1722-000-272185, based on the testimony and evidence presented, that the red light camera violation be upheld.
Page 4, item 17, notice number 1722-000-307-502, Trinity Divine Williams. No one is present.
Notice 1722-000-307502. This violation occurred on October 5th, 2020 at 6:51 a.m. at the intersection of eastbound East Fletcher Avenue at Bruce B. Downs Boulevard within Hillsborough County. I present these images, video, and the camera log report to the court as a deputy sheriff for the Hillsborough County Sheriff's Office and a certified law enforcement officer within the state of Florida. Based on these items, I find that this is a violation of Florida State Statute 316.075 1C1. Accordingly, we submit this violation and exhibits to the court for adjudication.
Trinity Divine Williams has failed to appear virtually or in person. I find that notice number 1722000307502, based on testimony and evidence presented, that the red light camera violation be upheld.
Item 19, notice number 1722000273290, Timothy McVicker, paid in full, 3/10/2021. Item 21, notice number 1722000274470, Kanisha Javan Alexander, no one is present.
Notice 1722000274470. This violation occurred on September 9th, 2020 at 6:09 PM at the intersection of northbound Brandon Town Center Drive at West Brandon Boulevard within Hillsborough County. I present these images, video, and the camera log report to the court as a deputy sheriff for the Hillsborough County Sheriff's Office and a certified law enforcement officer within the state of Florida. Based on these items, I find that this is a violation of Florida State Statute 316.075 1C1. Accordingly, we submit this violation and exhibits to the court for adjudication.
Kashina Javine Alexander has failed to appear virtually or in person. I find that notice number 1722000274470, based on the testimony and evidence presented, that the red light camera violation be upheld.
Item 21, notice number 1722000276368 has two cases. Item 21 and 22, Kendrick Kalan Jones, no one is present.
Notice 1722000276368. This violation occurred on September 11th, 2020 at 1:46 PM at the intersection of northbound Brandon Town Center Drive at West Brandon Boulevard within Hillsborough County. I present these images, video, and the camera log report to the court as a deputy sheriff for the Hillsborough County Sheriff's Office and a certified law enforcement officer within the state of Florida. Based on these items, I find that this is a violation of Florida State Statute 316.075 1C1. Accordingly, we submit this violation and exhibits to the court for adjudication.
Kendrick Hulan Jones has failed to appear virtually or in person. I find that notice number 1722000276368, based on the testimony that was presented, that the red light camera violation be upheld.
Item 22, notice number 1722000281301, Kendrick Kalan Jones, no one is present.
Notice 1722000281301. This violation occurred on September 15th, 2020 at 2:19 PM at the intersection of northbound Brandon Town Center Drive at West Brandon Boulevard within Hillsborough County. Present these images, video, and the camera log report to the court as a deputy sheriff for the Hillsborough County Sheriff's Office and a certified law enforcement officer within the state of Florida. Based on these items, I find that this is a violation of Florida State Statute 316.075 1C1. Accordingly, we submit this violation and exhibits to the court for adjudication.
Kendrick Hulan Jones has failed to appear virtually or in person. I find that notice number 1722000281301, based on the testimony that was presented, that the red light camera violation be upheld.
Item 24, notice number 1722000280824, LaKenya Shunta Wiltshire. No one is present.
Notice 1722000280824. This violation occurred on September 14th, 2020 at 7:52 PM at the intersection of eastbound West Waters Avenue at Anderson Road within Hillsborough County. I present these images, video, and the camera log report to the court as a deputy sheriff of the Hillsborough County Sheriff's Office and a certified law enforcement officer within the state of Florida. Based on these items, I find that this is a violation of Florida State Statute 316.075 1C1. Accordingly, we submit this violation and exhibits to the court for adjudication.
LaKenya Shunta Welcher has failed to appear virtually or in person. I find that notice number 1722000280824, based on the testimony evidence presented, that the red light camera violation be upheld.
Page 5, item 25, notice number 1722000283133, Jonathan Kendall Handy, paid in full 3/13/2021. Item 27, notice number 1722000297794, Prasant Singh, no one is present.
Notice 1722000297794. This violation occurred on September 27th, 2020 at 5:23 PM at the intersection of northbound Brandon Town Center Drive at West Brandon Boulevard within Hillsborough County. I present these images, video, and the camera log report to the court as a deputy sheriff for the Hillsborough County Sheriff's Office and a certified law enforcement officer within the state of Florida. Based on these items, I find that this is a violation of Florida State Statute 316.075 1C1. Accordingly, we submit this violation and exhibits to the court for adjudication.
Prajant Singh has failed to appear virtually or in person. I find that notice number 1722000297794, based on the testimony that was presented, that the red light camera violation be upheld.
Item 28, notice number 1722000300663, Jenna Suzanne Herbert, no one is present.
Notice 1722000300663. This violation occurred on September 30th, 2020 at 8:46 AM at the intersection of eastbound East Fletcher Avenue at Bruce B. Downs Boulevard within Hillsborough County. I present these images, video, and the camera log report to the court as a deputy sheriff for the Hillsborough County Sheriff's Office and a certified law enforcement officer within the state of Florida. Based on these items, I find that this is a violation of Florida State Statute 316.075 1C1. Accordingly, we submit this violation and exhibits to the court for adjudication.
Jenna Suzanne Hebert has failed to appear virtually or in person. I find that notice number 1722000300663, based on the testimony evidence presented, that the red light camera violation be upheld.
Item 30, notice number 172200030711015, Marie Ellen Stevens, paid in full on 3/2/2021. Item 31, notice number 1722000308245, balance owed is $83. Evelyn Antrino, no one is present.
Notice 1722000308245. This violation occurred on October 5th, 2020 at 5:10 PM at the intersection of northbound Brandon Town Center Drive at West Brandon Boulevard within Hillsborough County. I present these images, video, and the camera log report to the court as a deputy sheriff for the Hillsborough County Sheriff's Office and a certified law enforcement officer within the state of Florida. Based on these items, I find that this is a violation of Florida State Statute 316.075 1C1. Accordingly, we submit this violation and exhibits to the court for adjudication.
Okay. Evelyn Intriano has failed to appear virtually and in person. I find that notice number 1722000308245, based on the testimony and evidence presented, that the red light camera violation be upheld. No, let me go back to that case. It's not $75 plus 83. The balance is $83. And it's due within 30 days of this order.
Page 6, item 33, notice number 1722-000314029, Joseph Michael Salaman, paid in full, 1/13/2021. Item 34, notice number 1722-000314656, Hatham Asmay Elaham. No one is present.
Notice 1722000314656. This violation occurred on October 10th, 2020 at 9:38 p.m. at the intersection of northbound Brandon Town Center Drive at West Brandon Boulevard within Hillsborough County. I present these images, video, and the camera log report to the court as a deputy sheriff for the Hillsborough County Sheriff's Office and a certified law enforcement officer within the state of Florida. Based on these items, I find that this is a violation of Florida State Statute 316.0751C1. Accordingly, we submit this violation and exhibits to the court for adjudication.
Hatham Asmi El-Hul has failed to appear virtually or in person. I find that notice number 1722000314656, based on the testimony that was presented, that the red light camera violation be upheld.
Item 35, notice number 1722-000318822, Sal Shehab. No one is present.
Notice 1722000318822. This violation occurred on October 14th, 2020 at 5:39 a.m. at the intersection of eastbound Fletcher Avenue at Brisbane Downs Boulevard within Hillsborough County. I present these images, video, and the camera log report to the court as a deputy sheriff for the Hillsborough County Sheriff's Office and a certified law enforcement officer within the state of Florida. Based on these items, I find that this is a violation of Florida State Statute 316.0751C1. Accordingly, we submit this violation and exhibits to the court for adjudication.
Sal Shehab has failed to appear virtually or in person. I find that notice number 1722003188822, based on the testimony that was presented, that the red light camera violation be upheld.
Item 36, notice number 1722-000319895, Christopher Wortham Kinder. No one is present.
Notice 1722000319895. This violation occurred on October 15th, 2020 at 3:41 p.m. at the intersection of northbound Brandon Town Center Drive at West Brandon Boulevard within Hillsborough County. I present these images, video, and the camera log report to the court as a deputy sheriff for the Hillsborough County Sheriff's Office and a certified law enforcement officer within the state of Florida. Based on these items, I find that this is a violation of Florida State Statute 316.0751C1. Accordingly, we submit this violation and exhibits to the court for adjudication.
Christopher Wortham Kinder has failed to appear virtually or in person. I find the notice number 172200031899895, based on testimony that was presented, that the red light camera violation be upheld.
Item 38, notice number 1722-000332211, Talaki Shante Andrews. No one is present.
Notice 1722000332211. This violation occurred on October 24th, 2020 at 11:39 p.m. at the intersection of eastbound East Fletcher Avenue at Brisbane Downs Boulevard within Hillsborough County. I present these images, video, and the camera log report to the court as a deputy sheriff for the Hillsborough County Sheriff's Office and a certified law enforcement officer within the state of Florida. Based on these items, I find that this is a violation of Florida State Statute 316.075 1C1. Accordingly, we submit this violation and exhibits to the court for adjudication.
Manuel Isaac Scott has failed to appear virtually or in person. I'm sorry. Talikia Shante Andrews has failed to appear virtually or in person. I find that notice number 1722000332211, based on the testimony that was presented, the red light camera violation be upheld.
Item 39, notice number 1722000334951, Gary Hector Jr., paid in full. Item 40, notice number 1722000336238, John Joseph Girding, paid in full. Page 7, item 41, notice number 1722000342509, Dion Monique Williams, no one is present.
Notice 1722000342509. This violation occurred on November 1st, 2020 at 4:50 p.m. at the intersection of westbound East Fletcher Avenue at Bruce B. Downs Boulevard within Hillsborough County. I present these images, video, and the camera log report to the court as a deputy sheriff for the Hillsborough County Sheriff's Office and a certified law enforcement officer within the state of Florida. Based on these items, I find that this is a violation of Florida State Statute 316.075 1C1. Accordingly, we submit this violation and exhibits to the court for adjudication.
Dion Monique Williams has failed to appear virtually or in person. I find that in notice number 1722000342509, based on the testimony that was presented, that the red light camera violation be upheld.
Item 42, notice number 1722000345502, Frank Michael Wheeler Jr., rescheduled to the 5/21 hearing at 9 a.m. as requested. Item 45, notice number 1722000380038, Grisel Rivera Irizarry, no one is present.
Violation 1722000380038. This violation occurred on December 3rd, 2020 at 12:40 p.m. at the intersection of eastbound West Waters Avenue at Anderson Road within Hillsborough County. I present these images, video, and the camera log report to the court as a deputy sheriff for the Hillsborough County Sheriff's Office and a certified law enforcement officer within the state of Florida. Based on these items, I find that this is a violation of Florida State Statute 316.075 1C1. Accordingly, we submit this violation and exhibits to the court for adjudication.
Grisel Rivera Irizarry has failed to appear virtually or in person. I find that notice number 1722000380038, based on the testimony and evidence presented, that the red light camera violation be upheld.
Item 46, notice number 1722000381986, Sharonda Yvette Tolbert, no one is present.
Notice 1722000381986. This violation occurred on December 5th, 2020 at 4:45 p.m. at the intersection of northbound Brandon Town Center Drive at West Brandon Boulevard within Hillsborough County. I present these images, video, and the camera log report to the court as a deputy sheriff for the Hillsborough County Sheriff's Office and a certified law enforcement officer within the state of Florida. Based on these items, I find that this is a violation of Florida State Statute 316.075 1C1. Accordingly, we submit this violation and exhibits to the court for adjudication.
Sharonda Yvette Tolbert has failed to appear virtually or in person. I find that notice number 1722000381986, based on the testimony and evidence presented, that the red light camera violation be upheld.
Item 47, notice number 17221-0000-2375, Nicole Yvette Hudson. No one is present.
Notice 1722100002375. This violation occurred on December 8th, 2020 at 6:45 a.m. Excuse me. I'm sorry, could you actually pull up image A for me? 47. Nicole Hudson. Okay, thank you. Sorry. At the intersection of westbound East Fletcher Avenue at Bruce B. Downs Boulevard within Hillsborough County. I present these images, video, and a camera log report to the court as a deputy sheriff for the Hillsborough County Sheriff's Office and a certified law enforcement officer within the state of Florida. Based on these items, I find that this is a violation of Florida State Statute 316.0751C1. Accordingly, we submit this violation and exhibits to the court for adjudication.
Nicole Yvette Hudson has failed to appear virtually or in person. I find that notice number 17221-0000-2375, based on the testimony evidence presented, that the red light camera violation be upheld.
This concludes the 9 a.m. agenda.
We are adjourned until 1:30 p.m. this afternoon.
Dr. Centaulis. Dr. Centaulis, can you hear me?
Mr. Johnson, I'm sorry.